You've seen backhand, you've seen serve. Now it is time for 1,000 rally balls every day this week. Fortunately, we do have a special guest for this video, and it all came together on this court a couple weeks ago. Check it out. I was filming the intro for my serve target challenge, and this guy came up and asked if he could try. This is what happened. After this, we hit for a little bit, and I quickly realized this was not your average tennis player. Meet Keb. He was the top player in Minnesota in his high school class, spent 1 year at UC Santa Barbara and 3 years at Minnesota playing D1 tennis, and then 5 years after that on the ATP tour. So this week's gonna be huge. Keb's gonna be giving me a ton of knowledge. We're just gonna hit. He knows more about tennis than I could even imagine, so I'm excited to learn from him. Keb thinks we can get 100 rally balls in a row the first day. I think there's no chance. We'll see what he's got. Let's just say we didn't even come close to that number. You can see right here, we're slapping the ball around, not even hitting it very hard, and I'm spraying it all over the place. Our average rally for the first 10 minutes was only 13 balls. Not a good number. This was the kind of thing we needed to improve on throughout the week, and also where Keb's coaching began.
Can you feed without dropping and hitting like this? Can you do that?
That's like the mark of a good tennis player, and not really yet. I can try.
When you have to like do this, blatant beginner sign. When you hit with somebody better and they have more, weight behind their shots, you just have to shorten up. You just need to stay with your shot through the hitting zone.
Ah, my bad.
Yeah, when you're practicing, it's got to bother you if you miss. So I ran out there for the shot that you pulled, and I slid it back, and I'm coming back to the middle. I saved the rally, and you didn't even really try to keep it going.
Keb obviously quickly noticed how much I was shying away from my backhand, so we made a rule where anything on the left side of the court, I had to hit a backhand. He absolutely pounded my backhand, forcing me to try to get comfortable with it and use it more often. This is gonna be a process. Like, it's a privilege to get to hit with someone as good as him when I'm at my level. This is like unheard of in adult tennis to get to learn like this. So I'm very grateful to be here. We're gonna get better by the end of the week.
Hopefully, if we can get over a little hump and you can start to make longer rallies.
Yeah.
We're basically kind of like here right now. Once you get over a little hump, you'll improve fast.
We finished the night with Keb hitting volleys at me to learn how to prepare quicker and stay down and through my shots, and things did not go well.
There's too much stopping and starting.
My God.
After you hit your forehand, you stood up, and then you had to get ready and get down. But if you hit your forehand and stayed down, you would have been right there and hit the next one. Ah, come on, man. That's on you. I don't want to have to work, man. Come on, better contact. They're all falling, man. Like, there's no weight behind it. They're all dropping out of my feet.
That was a wrap on day one. I filmed a video talking about how I didn't feel like I belonged on the court, and that made it tough, but forgot to start the mic. Anyways, Keb gave me some homework, so I had to get right to it. Keb asked me to watch David Ferrer, and I could see why. His timing was impeccable, his footwork insane, but most of all, he never stopped working. He stayed down and threw a shot, and right after that, he got ready for the next shot. This is something I would try to implement on day 2.
All right, we're gonna do what I call the Lance Armstrong warm-up. One ball.
One ball. At the beginning of day 2, things started to get quite a bit smoother, and we actually kept some pretty long rallies going.
This is a good speed, right? We can do this all day.
As we continued to hit, Keb continued to give more advice, and it was always pretty simple at this point: just make more balls.
Who do you think's adding more pace?
Probably me right now.
Yeah, it's always the lesser player when guys hit with each other. All right, you got to prove that you can make a lot of balls first.
Okay.
It's always easier to do more. The hard part is finding your zone and getting on somebody else's shots. It's obviously a little awkward, but he's improving a ton. Stay down. I mean, I can literally see it out of the corner of my eye. It just looks like you hit a shot and you're totally gonna be late on the next one. Try to observe and see where it's gonna be ready, like anticipate, so that you can start your preparation for the next shot right away.
After about 30 minutes of rallying, we got into some backhand basket work and things started to get a little dicey.
Can't miss them. I mean, you miss like 3 out of 4. I don't know what it is, but you're not making them.
All right,
and
it's
more important to make them.
Give me a tip to make them. I know I'm not making them. It's obvious.
It's not just that. There's something that I can see about it that making them isn't the priority when it should be.
Okay.
Okay?
That fairly simple feedback allowed me to slow things down and make more balls, albeit with not much power.
Awesome.
After that, we moved on to some forehands, which was much more comfortable for me. Just because you have a weakness does not mean you neglect the other parts of your game. We then moved to the part of the game which you have all seen me struggle with mightily, the high ball. I really needed to clean these up to start winning these points.
Are these that easy?
No.
Is it for the pros?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Until you get the hang of it, it's not that easy of a ball.
I've adjusted my posture. I started standing up a little bit taller, and these balls started to go in more frequently.
Too much. Good.
After the basket work, the speed and consistency of our rallies improved greatly. We finished with another set of two-handed backhands, and Kev gave me a tip that has helped me more than anything thus far.
I think you'll benefit from keeping the racket moving, because right now, you're here, and then you have to start it again.
Yeah.
You want to keep it flowing.
We said I couldn't leave until I hit the can, and I just so happened to do it on the last ball.
Woo!
Alright guys, another day, another dollar. Day 3 included some of our most consistent rallying, but we also started to run into some other issues, namely the heat and some blisters. Hey, this is where it gets you folks. This is real tennis, right there. We also started to get more into the technical weeds of my forehand.
You're late and you compensate by turning your hips and opening up. You want to stay actually facing your ball until contact.
This ended up being one of my most productive tennis days ever, as we went at it for about 2.5 hours in the 105-degree heat index. For my friends in Europe, that's 40 degrees Celsius. No Kev today, still gotta do the work myself. And to be honest, I'm still a little embarrassed about my drop feeds, so we're gonna practice them. Now I need to ingrain these backhand changes that Kev has been making until they are second nature. Best way to do that, take it nice and easy. I'm sure you're all wondering exactly what former pro means, so I'm going to let Kev give a recap of his time on the tour.
Went on the pro tour, played futures for about 2 years. I was going to hang it up. I got a couple ATP points. Met a guy who trained me, trained really hard. I didn't want to give it up. I gave it one last push. Started doing pretty well. Played a lot of prize money tournaments while I was on the tour, so I never really played a full calendar. Kind of wish I would have focused more on the tour exclusively, but it's pretty common. Guys try to make a little money because it's tough out there.
The hitting on day 5 was much improved again, getting more consistent, more comfortable with the backhand, although there's still a little bit of a hitch. Seems like we're picking up the pace a little bit today. It's exciting. Blister's still intact. Don't know why I didn't bring tape, but let's get after it. We started to implement some more cross-court battles, which was a lot of fun for me, specifically on the forehand side. Kev was really ramping up his backhand, which, just look at that thing, it's a great shot. And it was a lot of fun for me to start playing with some more pace. All right, let's hit some dang backhands, get them in, past the service line. Backhands, while improving, are still unfortunately the bane of my tennis existence.
Oh!
No!
Let's try.
Oh. Thankfully, Kev was super patient with the backhand throughout the week and continued to give it great coaching tips.
Best thing you can do is just Keep slowing it down and get extra net clearance. That one, do that again. That's efficient. Beautiful, again. Good, let's end on a good one. I like it.
No Kev again today. I think it might be time to throw it back to what put me on the map and just hit 1,000 backhands today. First, we're just gonna assess where we're at, and there's 50 balls in the slinger. Let's see how many I can get out of 50 past the service line. All right, 26 out of 50, not great. That tells me we're hitting backhands the rest of the day. We're gonna get to 1,000. We'll see y'all tomorrow on day 7 just to see how much I've improved. All right guys, last day. Let's see what kind of improvements we've made. Day 7 with Keb. Are the rallies better? Remember on day 1 when our average rally was 13 balls? Well, our second rally today was 74 balls and it lasted 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Hey. The hitting was much more consistent and solid, and we consistently had more pace. Keb would almost always hit it to the middle, but by the last day, I was making him run less. Even though I had improved a ton, this did not deter Keb from continuing to give great coaching tips.
You want to always be aware, even while you're watching the ball coming, be aware in the back of your mind where this is, the racket head and the strings, so that you can connect it to the ball. When they come hard like that, remember, just small. You're just gonna kind of shove the ball and take the pace that's on it and redirect it back here.
Cross court forehands, this is where we get to have some fun.
Gosh, nice ball.
Backhand side, here's where we get to have a little bit less fun.
Nice ball.
Even the volley drill that was embarrassing on day 1 had improved a lot as well.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Nice ball. Good ball. Come on, one more.
All right guys, that wraps up the week. A lot of improvement, still a long way to go. Kev, how do you feel about start to finish? Just general thoughts on the week.
I'm a big believer that a lot of the responsibilities on the coach. It really helps having a mature student, and that could be at any age. You don't want to maybe push a young kid, but I think there's a level of maturity that has to happen before they can really take in information. You don't want to be too pressuring, and
yeah,
I'm saying that because when we hit, you really matured a lot, because believe it or not, there's a lot of philosophy built into tennis, some stoic mentalities, discipline, humility, and and it takes that to be willing to accept information and to make sense of it and to try to improve. And I thought you did a fantastic job with all that. Gave him so much information, it's hard to think with all that. I thought he did a great job, and I think once a lot of these things become habits, it gets easier. I had a great time working with him and coaching him, and I hope that I provide some information to everybody out there watching that can enjoy tennis and improve their game and kind of understand how it works, grow the tennis community.
Let us know what you want to see next. If you like Keb, if you want to hear more from him, comment right now.
Yeah, let us know if you think he's improved a lot. I mean, you should be able to see from the video, he's hanging in rallies with me pretty good. He's improved his technique, his stamina, his consistency in making balls.
All right guys, thank y'all for watching. We're gonna keep getting better. Peace.